So what I need is I would like a physical suggestible that'd like to come up and experience this. Okay? Seeing as I had only one hand. Oh. Okay. Good. How are you? And you're Christine?
Christine.
Christine, okay. I can remember that name. That's a good one. Okay. All right. So again, like we have done before, I'm going to do some demonstration, and then we'll go back and break it down, and you can take your notes about what I'm doing and how we're doing it at that point, okay? All right, so I'm just going to write your name down here so I'll know I remember it that way. Okay. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, we do need the chair. If you can move it back a little for me, just slide it backwards, and then right back in against the desk. Good, that's good. Okay, actually, I think we need a little more. I'm sorry. Let's get it back. I just love being in control, you see. Okay. Exactly. All right, I'm just going to touch your hand for a moment, all right? I'm just going to move your arm a little forward like that. Okay, let's bring it up. Okay. Good. Now we're just going to relax it right in that position. Very good. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions. These questions will give me an indication of your suggestibility. There are no right or wrong answers to this. If the answer is yes, nod your head. If the answer is no, shake your head. If you're not sure, just kind of look at me, and again, your eyes will give me some information, and we'll move on. Okay? No right or wrong way to do this. Okay, good. All right. As a child, did you walk in your sleep? Again, you can just make up these answers. Okay. When you were growing up, were you allowed to verbally express your feelings in your family? Have you ever awakened from a dream and felt you could not move your body or speak? Do you feel you were often more affected by the tone of voice or the body language than the words that were actually used? Okay. When your eyes are closed, can you create a mental picture? So if I had you think about some place that was very calming, maybe the beach, is that calming for you? If you close your eyes, would you see an actual picture of that in your mind? Okay. So you can visualize. Very good. Okay. Now, I'd like you to look down at your left hand on the table. Allow yourself to have a nice image of your hand, and then when you have that image, allow your eyes to close. Now, Christine, nod your head if you can still imagine your hand in your mind's eye. Good. Okay. Now, in a few moments, some physiologic changes will begin to take place. I'm going to point them out to you, and then as you notice them, I'd like you to nod your head. So focus on your breathing. As you feel the change in the breath, nod your head. Good. And there's little movements in your eyes, a little fluttering movement. There'll be this tendency to feel a bit of dryness in your lips and your mouth, a tendency to want to swallow. Then draw your attention into your left arm on the table. Feel that left elbow against the table, and then down into the left hand. Now from the tips of the fingers, the left hand, into the wrist. Feel the hand beginning to lift and rise up off the table. Kind of a lifting, rising sensation. Lifting, rising, up and up. Higher and higher, becoming lighter and lighter. Very, very light. Light as a feather. Lifting and rising. As that hand lifts and rises up off the table, you begin to feel a kind of twisting and turning as the palm and the fingertips turn inwards towards your face. Twisting, turning, lifting, rising sensation. Higher and higher. Lighter and lighter. Lifting and rising. Lifting and rising. And feel that lifting, rising, twisting, turning feeling. Closer and closer. Closer and closer. Closer and closer. Closer and closer. Lifting, rising, twisting, turning, upwards and inwards. You'll feel that skin contact in a few moments. Closer and closer. 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 Now, deep sleep. Each time I suggest deep sleep for the purpose of hypnosis, with your permission, you allow yourself to enter quickly, calmly, and deeply to this depth, or even deeper. Now feel the way your index finger begins to press against the crown, or the bridge, I should say, of your nose. Sense of pressing more firmly against it. More and more firmly. More and more firmly. And you cannot remove it. The harder you try, the more difficult it is to remove. You can try, but you cannot remove it. The harder you try, the more difficult it is to remove. But when I touch your wrist, you'll be able to remove it quite easily, and the hand will just drop down to the table now. Release it. Now, deep sleep. Now, each time I suggest deep sleep for the purpose of hypnosis, with your permission, allow yourself to enter quickly, calmly, and deeply to this depth, or even deeper. Good. Very good. I'm going to use a count from 5 down to 0. Remember that each count allows you to enter more deeply into this state. 0 always represents a deep state when we're in hypnosis. And so at 5 now, letting go now. 4, 3, deeper now. 2, 1, and 0 is this deep sleep. That's right. Each time deep sleep is suggested for the purpose of hypnosis, with your permission, allow yourself to enter quickly, calmly, and deeply to this depth. And now even deeper. Now even deeper. Good. Now, Christine, in a few moments, I'm going to ask you to do something. In a few moments, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. You'll hear me say the words eyes open. At that moment, you'll open your eyes. But when you hear me say the words deep sleep, your eyes will close, and you'll automatically go deeper. Each time we do this now, in hypnosis, you'll go deeper each time. Eyes open. Deep sleep, now going down. That's right. Eyes open. Deep sleep. Each time we're going deeper now. Eyes open. Deep sleep. Eyes open. Deep sleep, and going deeper now. Just letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Good. Excellent. Now in a moment, I'm going to show you a picture that I've drawn on my yellow pad. It's a picture of a 0 or a circle with an X in it. When I show you that picture, your eyes will close and you'll automatically go deeper. Eyes open. That's right. Now deep sleep, deep sleep, deep sleep. Automatically going deeper now. Going deeper. Now we're going to remove that suggestion completely. The 0, the circle with the X, has no indication for you, no reaction for you in hypnosis whatsoever. You'll look at it, your eyes will remain open. No longer has any reaction at all. Eyes opening. But of course there's deep sleep, and always going deeper then as you allow yourself. Going deeper. Going deeper. That's right. Letting go. Good. Going deeper. Good. Excellent. All right. Now, I'm just going to come over to your side for just a moment. I'm walking behind you, coming next to your right side. Now I'm just going to take a hold of your arm for a moment. Just relax the arm. Just relax it completely. That's right. Very relaxed. Excellent. Very relaxed. Very good. Now in a few moments, we're going to remove any remaining tensions out of your body. We're going to put them into this arm. As I count backwards from 5 down to 0, all of the tension will move into this arm. And at 0, there'll be a tendency for this arm to be as rigid and as stiff as a steel bar. As rigid and as stiff as a steel bar. And so at 5 now, you begin to put the tension in this arm now. 4, 3, all that tension. 2, 1, and at 0 now, stiff and as stiff as a steel bar. Very, very rigid, very, very stiff. And the harder you try to bend it, the more difficult it is to bend. You cannot bend it. You can try, but the harder you try, the more difficult it is to bend. Now we're going to release all that tension. You're going to go very, very deep now. Take a deep breath. Deep, 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 deep. Now let's let it go. Release it, release it. That's right. Relax, relax. Deep sleep now. Deep sleep. Each time deep sleep is suggested for the purpose of hypnosis, with your permission, allow yourself to enter quickly, calmly, and deeply to this depth, or even deeper. Even deeper. Okay. I'm going to move back behind you again, back to my chair. And we're going to reverse that suggestion from 0 up to 5. And at 5, you'll open your eyes to a non-suggestible state, feeling comfortable. And around that number 3, you might feel that little sense of wanting to grin a little bit because it feels really good. Very positive. At 0, we go a little deeper. But at 1, already you can feel that grin wanting to start. It becomes more of a little contagious grin at 2. You can't stop it at 3. It becomes more of a laughter at 4, feeling wonderful. At 5, eyes opening, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. Wow. Okay. Good. Okay, just stay there. Just 1 second. Let's stay right there. Good. Okay. We're going to learn some more tonight, but I wanted to stop there. Her head was getting kind of real tilted over. I was going to move it back, but we'll talk about a little bit of what we did here first. So first, before I let Christine go, do you have any questions for her specifically? Anyone want to ask her a question?
Do you remember anything about your right arm?
Yeah.
The question is, did she remember anything about her right arm?
And do you remember what happened to it?
Yeah, I remember making it feel really tight and I couldn't move it.
Do you remember when I removed it and then put it back on? No, I'm just kidding. See, that's another deepening technique. Yes.
Do you remember any images?
Any images?
Yes.
I remember the image of my hand in the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
to look down at my hand. And then, I had different images going through my mind the whole time I was
Sure.
spoken to.
Yeah. I didn't suggest anything specific other than the hand itself, but it's common that things will pop into your head as we go through the process.
Do you remember the picture that you were shown?
A circle with an X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you look at it now, it does nothing.
No.
No reaction. See? We removed it. We'll talk about that.
Is there anything personally scary about being in hypnosis? How was it for you? Did you feel comfortable, safe?
The question, was it scary? Did it feel comfortable or safe?
No, it felt really relaxing. I wasn't nervous, I wasn't scared. The voice was very calming, so you just felt getting more and more relaxed the more I was being spoken to.
I guess all those years of doing this have paid off.
It finally worked.
My voice finally sounds good. Okay. Any other specific questions to Christine specifically?
Yeah, I have a question. When you had your eyes open, what was it like? Was it just like a regular day, or?
That's interesting. It was kind of funny when I opened my eyes because I could see everybody, but it was like as if what are they doing there?
Right,
You know?
because it really becomes you and myself,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very common. In fact, some people will actually open their eyes and not really, I mean, it's not that they don't see you, but they pay no attention. Because at that moment, the suggestibility is being created, she's following me, and it becomes this very connected kind of thing. And so that's a good question, and that's sometimes people don't remember actually even seeing the group when they open their eyes, even though obviously they did. Yes?
You were, like you said, she was kind of bent over like this. It looked like you weren't comfortable. Could you feel?
No, I was perfectly
You
comfortable.
felt comfortable?
Yeah, I was comfortable.
We do want to err on the side of comfort for our clients, of course, and be aware of that. And we're doing a lot of demonstration in this chair. We would normally, do a couple of deepening techniques, and then, or one or two, and then we'd move into that chair where everything is supported, and that's not an issue. But I didn't want to take I don't know Christine. I don't know if she has any neck issues, so I always want to err on respecting and caring for the client. So that's, I didn't want to keep her there too long.
And I was aware of going down, but I was more comfortable going down than I was to try and pull myself back up again.
So let's just talk about a few elements that I want you to be aware of, and then we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go through it and do some more deepening techniques again. So let me just go through some things, and then we'll get to some other questions after our break. But let's get through this first. Were you aware, could you see the changes happening in Christine?
Yeah.
Because they were very palpable with her. You could see the eye movements start. They were already going, and then when I suggested them, they moved even more. You saw when I said deep sleep, you saw the escape. You could see it in her. She's a wonderful subject to see it physically occur. And then the deepening. You could see the moments when she'd take a deep breath and her affect would change. And you could literally see as Christine was going deeper into this state. And have you been hypnotized before?
Yes.
You have. So so she's conditioned to some degree. So that probably helped us a little bit, but not necessarily. I mean, anyone could experience it this way in the first session. But it was wonderful you came out because we learned a lot by watching. So we see these changes that take place, and we're watching, and she's telling us what's happening there. Okay, it's really a very it's a very positive state. People enjoy it, and in our lives, so often we don't get to this level of comfort and relaxation. Again, I think I mentioned before, but it's one of these wonderful times when you go and work with somebody, and when you leave, you almost always feel a lot better than when you came in. So,
I was going to say, I did feel like I'm wanting a grin.
yeah, good. It's a happy time. So, all right, so we're going to take our break, and when we come back, we're going to continue the process. So thank you very much, Christine. Appreciate it. Be careful with the step here. Okay, good. Thank you.